Good evening. My name is Mrs. Lowe, Head of Sixth Form at Our Ladies Catholic College. This is an informal presentation in which I will go through the structure of the school day, the academic pathways, and we will also discuss the ways in which you can support your son or daughter. I would normally deliver this in school, but felt that some of you may prefer to listen to me from home. Please forgive me if it is not as smooth as some official presentations. So we start with the structure of the school day. All sixth formers must be in school every day by 8:40 a.m. However, they are allowed out of school in what we call free periods. This means that if they have free periods at the end of the day, they can come home early. But the idea is that they then work independently at home. We are more than happy for them to stay in school on any day until 5:30 p.m. and we often insist on them staying until 3 or 4 o'clock each day if they get behind with their work. So let's look at a typical timetable of a student. So as well as the subjects that the student is studying, there are also some pink squares there. Those pink squares are study periods, and that is where the student has to go to the supervised study area and work silently. Mr. Seddon will be supervising them and making sure that they get on with their work. So that is actually not optional, they have to be there. But the boxes in white are what we call free periods. So when they have a free period, they actually don't have to be in school. So on a Thursday, week B, for example, this student finishes after period 3, and that's 12:20, and that's when they can go home. On Tuesday, week A, they finish at 1:20 and can go home then. Even though on Friday, week A, they have a free period 1, they are still expected to come into school at 8:40 for form period. Now actually, I say that's a typical timetable. Looking at it, not many people have freeze period 1 at all. I think we've put them in for studies then. So that shouldn't occur as much as this timetable. Not so typical after all. So looking at pathways. We're really happy to be able to run a 1-year course for students who need to increase their grade in Maths and English GCSE, whilst gaining a Level 2 BTEC in Travel and Tourism, worth 2 GCSEs. After completing this 1-year Level 2 course, students may be ready to start a 2-year Level 3 course here or at the college, or they could look for a good quality apprenticeship. Some of the students have started some Level 3 qualifications alongside the retake of 1 of English and Maths. A Grade 4 in GCSE Maths and English are the most important qualifications a student needs. They are required for university and many apprenticeships and jobs, and we place a great emphasis on this and expect students to complete work independently outside of lessons. If a student has gained grade 1 or 2 in English or Maths, we will be preparing them for a functional skills qualification before they move on to the GCSE course. Level 3 courses, students have chosen 3 or 4 subjects to study, and we would expect most students taking 4 subjects to drop to 3 by the end of this month. They can also swap subjects at any time between before the 24th of September. A-level subjects will be holding short assessments in the week starting the 20th of September to check that students are suitable for the rigour of these exams. Let's now look at a BTEC course. So all BTEC courses have now changed so that they include examinations. The examination in each subject must be passed or students will fail the qualification. All the BTECs also have a significant amount of coursework which has very strict deadlines and they must be adhered to. These new BTEC courses are more challenging than the previous courses, and because of this they are more respected by universities and employers. However, they are definitely more accessible and less rigorous than A-levels. A mixture of A-levels and BTEC qualifications is now accepted by some of the very top-ranking universities. Just this year, one of our students received an offer from Durham with 2 A-levels and 1 BTEC. Unless a student is projected to get A's or B's in A-levels, I strongly recommend that they complete at least 1 BTEC, and the reason for this is given in this table. A distinction in a BTEC is far easier for most students to obtain than an A at A-level. And yet, the UCAS points are the same. They're 48 for each of them. And another example to think about is a student gaining 3 C's at A-level would only have 96 points and would be very unlikely to get onto a nursing course. Another thing about BTECs is that it gives a student a different set of skills, or an additional set of skills to A-level, which include researching and teamwork. At the end of Year 12, students must pass a set of examinations to continue into Year 13. In Maths, Sciences and BTECs, these exams are external, but in other subjects we set our own internal exams. To monitor progress and keep you informed, we have a series of assessments and reporting throughout the year. And the first of these is a chance to meet your son or daughter's form tutor on Thursday the 14th of October. This is a face-to-face meeting, and you'll be able to discuss any problems or any worries that you have about your son or daughter's progress, or any pastoral matters as well. Other parents' evenings throughout the year will be remote and will be on School Cloud, and again we'll send more details of that nearer the time. I showed this slide to Year 12 a couple of days ago and explained to them that the step up from GCSE to sixth form is the biggest step they will take in their education. This is mainly due to the idea of having to work independently, but also the rigour of the qualifications. However, unfortunately for them, with COVID, this step is even bigger. We will do our utmost to support them through this. I went through some case studies with Year 12 the other day and thought it might be useful to share them with you as well. So these aren't real students, but they are actually based on some of our real students. So Donald, he was a bright student. He got decent grades in his GCSE assessments with very little revision. Okay, came into sixth form. Unfortunately, didn't do his homework at home, so copied it from his friends. Had odd days off when he was just a little bit tired, and didn't revise until the week before his exams. So what happened to Donald? He is now retaking Year 12. Mickey was a hard-working student at GCSE and chose to study art, BTEC Business Studies and biology. So a bit of a strange combination, but not too unusual. We have students with similar options. Now, Mickey was very conscientious, but unfortunately didn't meet the coursework deadlines. And this meant that he was finishing his coursework when he should have been revising for his AS examinations. So his grades were a merit in business, a C in art, but a U in biology. And that's why Mickey would be retaking biology again once he could carry on with the two, the business and the art, but he would have to retake the biology when he goes into Year 13. Doreen, well, she was a brilliant student in Year 11, revised really well, got great grades at GCSE. But in sixth form, she got a job in McDonald's and began working several evenings per week as well as weekend. Now, lots of our students actually do work in McDonald's, so I know this is true. And what happens is they start doing a few hours and then they're very good, as our students are, and they're asked to do more shifts. I am very, very happy, more than happy, for students to have a part-time job. It gives them great skills, it looks fantastic on their CVs, but 10 hours is the limit per week. If they're working more than 10 hours, it's been researched that this is going to affect them in some way. So it will either affect their grades or it will affect their mental health and well-being. So please try and get them to stick to 10 hours or less if they have got a part-time job. And the other thing is, working more than 10 hours means they get plenty of cash, and that means they can go out to the cinema or go out to a nightclub even when they get a bit older, and so they end up spending more time actually socially because they have the money to do so. So this is Doreen, and what happened to Doreen? Well, she completely blew the year and has to retake the whole year. Now we've got Peter. So this is Peter. Peter revised well in year 11 and got good grades. In sixth form, he got a job in a restaurant, but he kept his hours to less than 10 per week. He went out a couple of nights with friends. He used study periods to complete his coursework assignments and start homework. His attendance was kept at 98% at school, so had very few days off. And he revised for all his assessments throughout the year and made a revision plan which he stuck to. Peter also managed to find the time to volunteer in a primary school on a Wednesday afternoon once a fortnight. So what happened to Peter? Well, I think we know this is perfect Peter. He met his target grades in all his subjects and was able to obtain a competitive place at a great university. Now, we can't all be perfect Peters, I realise that, but we can aim to be. We can aim to get those things right, keeping our hours down, not going out too much, keeping our attendance up, and so on. So it's a balancing act if you're a parent. The balancing act is between study, leisure, and employment. So the students have to study hard, they have to play hard, and some of them will also be working quite hard in a job. It's doable, but it is a balance. And for you guys, it's also a balance between nagging them and encouraging them, and I do appreciate that. Just a couple of other things. So PSHE is once a fortnight, and we cover quite a wide range of things in PSHE. So we give a lot of guidance about careers. We have actually just registered with a new careers platform called Unifrog, and it's absolutely brilliant. Year 13 are getting a lot of use in it, and I know that Year 12 will as well. We go through study skills. We get people in from outside. So I've got the hospice coming in a couple of weeks. I've got a lady that comes in from an after-school club to talk about volunteering opportunities. We look at some sex and health education. That's often delivered by medics at Lancaster University or from Lancaster University. We have a representative from the Anthony Nolan Foundation who comes to talk to the students about stem cell and organ donation. And we look intensively at university and apprenticeship applications. That takes a lot of time. And we also look sometimes at financial skills as well that the students might need in the future. Okay, I've mentioned volunteering already, but we seriously try and encourage this. Now, this can either be in school in free periods. So, for example, they might want to go and help some Year 7 children in a lesson, or we will be starting up a breakfast club again where they can go and help students with their homework and help the teachers make breakfast for some of the disadvantaged students and so on. Or they can volunteer outside of school. So if they, for example, have 2 free periods at the end of the day, they could go and work in a primary school or a care home or a charity shop. But this has to be arranged by parents, and that's due to risk assessments and safeguarding. So we can't take that responsibility. All we can say is you can do it in your free periods, and please arrange that with your parents knowing about it. Can I just make a note? Volunteering is essential for anyone considering medicine, nursing, teaching and social work. So if you're considering any of those careers, they will expect you to have done some type of volunteering. It has been difficult in the pandemic, but it's becoming more and more easy now. In fact, the hospice are looking for people to work in their charity shops at the moment. Okay, the attendance policy is on the screen there. And in sixth form, there is a massive link between attendance and achievement. If students miss lessons, it's really difficult to catch up on the work, more so than GCSEs. So odd days off, when students are a bit under the weather, they just can't quite get out of bed, they've got a bit of a headache, these are extremely detrimental to the students. We understand if a student is obviously very ill and can't come into school, and we will help support that student. But if there's a pattern of the odd days off every now and again, then that shouldn't be happening. So in the light of this, we do monitor attendance carefully, and we do involve parents in this. Okay, we do have a 16 to 19 bursary, and anyone who is eligible for free school meals will be able to receive a discretionary bursary, and that's dependent upon attendance and also meeting deadlines. If you haven't applied for free school meals, then do so as soon as possible, and the phone number is there for you to ring, and I've also been giving that out to students on bits of paper all week. So please complete a bursary application form and return that by the end of the week so that we can start processing those. And what it means is I can make a payment to those students at the end of every half term, or we can use it to buy a travel pass. Okay, I think that is it. So just a little bit of a summary. Ways in which you as parents can help. So you can encourage excellent attendance, discuss career pathways. Once they've got onto Unifrog, you will get a login at some point as well, and you can help them to look at some careers. Please attend parents' evening. Please don't book holidays in term time. That's really important. Encourage revision for exams at home. Keep an eye on the hours which they are working if they have a job, and ask to see their files every now and again, see how they're working. Now, if you are concerned about anything, please don't hesitate to contact me. There's my email. If you want to book a one-to-one meeting with me, I should be able to facilitate that. So again, please email me. Now, I'm also recording a presentation on the Uganda project for those who have students interested in that project. I've decided to do it separately, and it will be available very soon, and I will send you a text to say when it's available. And that's it really. So thank you again for listening, and I look forward to meeting some of you on the 14th of October when you come in for that progress evening. Thank you very much.